It's at Taunton Station. Waiting for the train. Waiting for the train. Look at that poster though. Look. Predictive programming, or what do you think? The creator. My goodness. Yeah. Got a little bit of time to wait, but I got here nice and early, so that's alright. Yeah, I'm not, with regard to the Lucy Letby case and her, I just don't know where to go with it next. I'm just going to go back to reading the transcripts, what you can get from the reporting, mostly from Chester Live, or Chester Standard. Seeing what else you can pull out of there. But the kind of Evans is doing more and more. Evans is doing more and more interviews, so it's just going to be more of the same, more repetition, and more saying that he's looking for more crimes. You know, he's high on the hog at the moment. But pride before a fall, isn't it? Pride before a fall, Evans. I'll upload this video later, because I won't be where I normally am for a little while. Yeah, and I sort of did a tweet about Karen Rees this morning, saying that, you know, she supported Lucy and still believes in her innocence, and somebody very kindly sent me sort of answered the tweet with a link to a story saying that now she doesn't. She thinks she was very clever after all, that Karen Rees thinks Lucy was so clever that she fooled her. It's a pity, really. It's a disappointment, but it's the same dynamic as in the Crucible, as in the witch trials, where, you know, because she was suspended, Karen Rees, wasn't she? She was suspended. So they were punishing her, and that's the threat, so she's got to fall into line and go against all her initial thoughts and feelings about it, and toe the line, basically, and say, yeah, it's an incredibly clever criminal. But when you see her in the video interview, when you see her in that interview, and she's saying, well, I met her and she was very upset every time I met her. How could somebody act as well as that? That's her heart speaking, that's her knowledge and her intuition speaking, that Lucy Letby was telling the truth and she hadn't done anything wrong. As she says in that note, she hasn't done anything wrong. I've done nothing wrong. What more can you say? How more clear can you be? You know, so that's just someone, like in the play, in the Crucible, you've got characters there where somebody's identified as a witch, and then other people are pressured socially and even threatened to join in their condemnation, or the alternative is that you're called a witch as well. It's the same dynamic. Nothing's changed in 300 or 400 years. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed at all. We see the same dynamic there. There's the train going somewhere else. I think that's going down into the West Country more. Plymouth, yeah. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to get back into the reading of the trial notes as best you can, you know. We haven't got the whole transcript, of course. It's very expensive to get. And hope there's going to be an answer to the request for leave to appeal, you know, an affirmative answer from the judge to say, yes, you've got the right to appeal, and do it. I believe it's different to the American system, in which everyone's got the right to appeal. You don't have to go to a judge to ask for the right to appeal. You just have the right to appeal, and that's what we should have over here. Obviously we should have that. What kind of archaic, weird system have we got here, where you can be turned down for the right to appeal, you know? Well, we've got a very corrupt system. We've got a very, very, very corrupt system, as we know, which is how a case like this can happen, which is how somebody can be persecuted on the most ridiculous so-called evidence and end up with a full life tariff. That tells you what kind of sick, twisted, corrupt system we've got. Don't care what people say about it. Oh yeah, they had the jury said this, jury said that. No, that trial was manipulated. to the degree that there was no effective defence. Exactly how that happened, well, we can all take a view on that, can't we? We can all imagine. Or is it just incompetence? I don't know. I don't believe with that. I don't believe in that level of incompetence. I don't. This thing about the insulin tests, I think I've mentioned it before, you know. You get a test coming back with a level of 4,000. I can't remember what the actual units are called, but 4,000. But people have been saying, and it's obviously the case that they know this, it's that level of 4,000 would have put a full adult into a coma, probably leading to death. But those babies, they weren't in any kind of coma, they weren't affected. I mean, you know, 2 hours subsequent to doing that test, the glucose levels in one of those babies back to normal. So how could they have processed all that insulin, all that exogenous insulin? How could they have done it? Why didn't Myers say in the courtroom, look at this test here, how reliable can it be if it's showing a figure that would have killed those babies, that would have killed them and didn't? So how can you rely on it? Did he ask that question? Nobody that I know has come up with any evidence that he asked that question in the court. Maybe he did, but it's not out there. And what answer was he given? And when they asked one of the so-called another bloody expert about this thing that it wasn't even the correct test, they needed a spectrometry test to really establish whether it was factitious or exogenous, i.e. synthetic insulin. The expert, in quotes, said, oh, well, that's just advisory. So they've always got some way to slip out of what you need to do. They're just, oh, it's just advisory. This is the con of it. This is the sickness of it. This is how the mass poisoning of populations can happen, as we've been seeing in the last few years. Because you get somebody up there just being paid money by a certain side, and they'll just say, oh, it's just advisory. No, we don't have to do that. Even though the... Oh, this is an announcement. Oh, nowhere near it. Okay, stop nannying us. We know that, don't we? You know, you go down these steps there, I keep saying that, hold on to the things as you go down the steps. I mean, like we don't know. It's madness, isn't it? Trying to kill us on one level and trying to stop us falling down steps on another. I know they're not the same people doing the two things. But anyway, there we are. That's it. That image is horrific, isn't it? Let's look at something nicer. Down the tracks there. I think that's going to the West Country, and the other way's going north up towards Bristol. But yeah, the actual laboratory itself said that the test done there was not reliable. To prove factitious insulin, you've got to do this other test. Did they do it? No, didn't do it. Relying on this ridiculous figure of 4,000 moles, whatever it is, whatever the unit is, it doesn't matter, but it's a figure that's obviously displays that those babies wouldn't have survived that amount of insulin. Therefore, the test is utterly unreliable. And then there's all the other arguments to do with the baby's condition as well. There's should have been shot to pieces on the stand. Wasn't. You got to wonder why. You got to wonder why, haven't you? Haven't you, Mr. Myers, with your silk and all that nonsense? You got to wonder why you didn't do it. Got to wonder why you had the agreed fact of an insulin poisoning, which doomed Lucy Letby, because the jury, all they got then is, oh, there's another serial killer that's not been arrested, that's out there still, waiting to strike again. It's just not this young lady that's in the dock before us. Are we going to believe that with all the other air ambulance cases in front of us? No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. The defence doomed Lucy Letby as much as the prosecution did. And unless I'm given another explanation, right, for that, I won't change my mind until I'm given anything that contradicts that. You know, tell me how they didn't. Tell me how they didn't do that. Anyway, I'll go now. Ta-ra a bit. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye. On the train now. I'm on the train. It's a really empty carriage, which is great. It's my old reading material. I've been reading this for ages, but it's a great book, fantastic book. But got to get back into it now, about halfway through. But yeah, we're heading up the line. towards Old Bristol, Old Bristol. And, oh, I just passed a solar panel farm thing back there. It was different. There was a announcement on the train. They said, if you see something strange, you know, telephone the transport police and we'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it. I didn't realise they were still doing that stuff. You know, I didn't realise they were still doing it. So that's it, a bit of the old train. The Jane Eyre. Take care. Bye bye.
Now approaching Highbridge and Burnham.
Highbridge and Burnham. Nice place, Burnham. Nice seaside to nice beach to walk along.
Please take
Lovely.
all your belongings with you.
Okay, I will. I'm not getting off there. Bye bye. Bye. Sure where this is. Where are we?
This is Weston-super-Mare.
Western. But yeah, Old Western Supermare. Old Western. Are we going up
This is a Great Western Railway service.
Let me point the cider up at Old Western. We was up at Western the other day. We saw old Jim up at Western. Alright, so we're going now, boy. Bye. Hughes here. I'm just on the way to Wales to see my mate. You know, Dr. Dowie Evans. He's got some more cases for us to look into. You know what I mean? So yeah, having a bit of a beano off to Wales. I'll have a few pints on the way, and then I'll go down to old Carmarthen and see my mate Dowie, or Dewey as we call him, or Dreary. Oh, he's got some lovely cases for us now. Oh, we can't stop. We can't stop. You know what I mean?
Bristol Temple Meads. Please take all your belongings with you.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
This journey's taking a very long time to get to Hughes. Oh, I could murder a pint. But the great thing is that Dr. Evans is doing right. You know, he's no longer looking for a bad bug in the water. He's looking for more cases. He's going back further and further and further back. I've got to rein him in sometimes because he wants to go back before Lucy Letby started at the hospital. But he's very keen. He's very keen. We can't stop him once he gets going, you know. And it's more money for him, and it's more money for us.
This is
Lovely.
7 Tunnel Junction. Please take all your belongings with you.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down